Morning, Cap.
Morning, John.
Okay, so full disclosure, I've got this cord that I have here that's attached to my headset. I'm trying to figure. Oh, yeah, I think I can do this. So we're gonna do a little TV magic here, and I'm gonna pull down my billboard temporarily, and I'm gonna see if you recognize something behind me.
Oh, I see it already.
Right there,
Wow.
right there.
Rhode Island FC getting represented on the wall. Love it.
See, and you know me, and the idea is that when something is brand new, I've got to jump at it. And I drive the boss absolutely crazy because for me and soccer and gear, it's like squirrel. Legitimately, it is like squirrel because when everything came online, and I want to catch up with you about this too. But yeah, when all of this stuff came online, I go, man, I'm going to the poorhouse. I'm absolutely going to the poorhouse. But this had to be added to the wall
Love it.
without question
Love it.
because I wanted to see what that reaction was going to be like when that hit.
It's one of admiration and appreciation. I love it. It looks great.
So what has it been like since that has come online and now everybody's sitting there? Look, dude, it's real now. I mean, there's no going back. It is a press conference. It is a groundbreaking. It is sharing thoughts and glasses filled with things in liquid, and a lot of liquid being shared with fans and supporters. Man, this is rubber meeting the road time. What has it been like since all of that stuff has come online?
Incredible. The response from the community has been astounding. Awesome in every way. I mean, we've got over 3,000 ticket deposits for season tickets. The gear is flying off the shelves. We're trying to keep it in stock. So it's just been incredible. It really has, and it's awesome validation for us because we thought it was a soccer market. Ratings say it's a soccer market, but you never know until you jump. And so I think that everyone is excited about the look of the crest. I think it's awesome design. I might be a little biased, but no, I think they did a really good job with it, and it looks cool. So, as much as it represents Rhode Island as well, it's got to look cool, right? It's got to look cool on gear. So I think they nailed it.
Yep. And so, for the record, I did pick that up, but I also did pick up the navy blue T-shirt, which is also a part of the new rotation for things. So yeah, I didn't just pick up the scarf now.
Wow.
In as much as yes, I have to pick up the scarf because of how the office is. I had to grab the T-shirt, and you realize, of course, that I'm probably going to end up making myself very, very poor picking up RIFC stuff. I hope you're happy, Cap.
Well, I think when the jersey comes, John, I'll have to get one for you, so you don't have to drop into the bank for that one. All right.
Oh, see, now that would be pretty sweet, and that would definitely see. But all right. So now I'm torn. So if you were to do that, let's just say that the administration at RIFC was to do something like that.
Yes.
Am I to wear it or am I to put it in a frame? Because I'm torn now these days when it comes to things like that. Do I wear it, get it dirty? Do I wash it? Or do I just get two?
I think it's better that you're asking me this than your wife.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Just personal preference. I like to wear things.
I do too.
I like to wear it. I mean, it's a walking billboard for us. So it's obviously a billboard here on the show as well. But I like people wearing stuff out and about. I mean, I just like to wear soccer gear out and about too, and jerseys and stuff. So for me, I like to wear it, but everyone's got their own preference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when it comes to their wallet and having it. All right, so yeah, for the record, let me go ahead since it's right here. Here it is. Here's the wallet right here.
Oh my gosh, that's thick there.
I'm just going to go like this. It's just like literally that's what's left. So there you go. But
Uh,
I since it's been a while since we've had to catch up and talk about RFC, but I had to congratulate you on that and ask what it's like with all of the growth with what we've
Thank you.
seen. Oh yeah, and it will be a continuing process as you continue to have this child grow and grow and grow. Yeah, and by the way,
It's keeping me real busy right now, actually, because we are looking to hire our head coach slash GM. It's a
okay.
dual position, and we're looking to hire that person here in this off season, even though we don't kick off until 2024. So yeah, that's been keeping me very busy.
Yeah, so one of our Twitch Pitch viewers, Rack, goes, "Yeah, Twitch Pitch furiously looking up Rhode Island FC gear to support Parkhurst." So, yeah, see what you've done, Cap. See, this is you start something new, and now everybody is like diving into the internet to try to figure out. It's like, how can I get the gear, man? How can I do this? But no, it's fun, and obviously, if you ever want to break news about head coach GM, you know that you can do that right here.
Sure can. Awesome.
Anytime. Yeah, you have golden ticket status. So yeah, anytime you want to crash the party and talk about whatever you want to talk about, we can. Speaking of which, I don't know if you've heard that, but there's this tournament and it's kind of wrapping up this weekend. And this morning, the question that I've kind of posed to everybody here on the show is MVP, match of the tournament, goal of the tournament.
Ooh.
And right now, a lot of folks and people can sit there and call shenanigans on me if they want, but I've picked Argentina from the beginning because I want the fairy tale. And for me, Lionel Messi is my man of the tournament, MVP, however you want to phrase it, because of what we've seen from Lionel Messi. Goal of the tournament, folks are saying the second one from Alvarez in the last round for Argentina and the Richarlison bicycle kick. I would go with Richarlison's bicycle kick.
Yeah.
And match of the tournament, take your pick. That one's kind of open as well. And so as you have, from 30,000 feet, as you have watched this tournament, I guess we can take it in one of two ways. We can take it from the U.S. national team perspective and from the everybody else perspective. But what are some of your takeaways from the tournament as we now only have two matches left?
Yeah, God, it's crazy how quick it's gone by. I think from the U.S. perspective, satisfied, I guess is the word I'd use. Like I expected them to get out of the group. I wanted them to get out of the group. I thought it was very, very important to get out of the group and to get the experience of knockout round soccer leading into 2026. I never thought that we would get to, like a semifinal or anything like that. We're just a really young team, and it's very, very difficult, even with a talented young team, to make it that far. So, I think they accomplished the goal. Of course, that game, Holland is a better team than us. We were going to have to be very, very good, if not perfect, on the day. And we're going to have to hope that they weren't, and they were good. They were good. But, God gifted that chance so early in the game. When we made it 2-1, I honestly thought we are going to tie this up. Like, for sure, we're going to tie this up. We're going to go into extra time. I really believe that. And so, I think you leave that game disappointed, and that's a good thing, right? It wasn't like, Belgium last time around when you just get demolished and Tim Howard just keeps you in the game all game long, right? We had some chances there. It wasn't one-sided. It was a fairly even game, even though they were more clinical in front of the goal. So overall, I think it was positive for us. And like I said, it gives us momentum and belief going into 2026. At least it does for me, that in 2026, I think we're capable of making a run. Of course, a lot of things happen between now and then, but, and health and progress and stuff. But it gives me belief that we can make it to the semifinals, and you never know. So from that end, pleased. I'm rooting for Team Messi to win. I would be excited for him to win the World Cup and solidify his status as the best ever. He's had an unbelievable tournament. He's the MVP of the tournament for me. What he does is just incredible. He's playing every minute of the tournament so far. Sorry.
No, yeah, he has. Legitimately, I'm just laughing at what we're seeing from Lionel Messi. You think, oh, he's 35. Come on.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And he's carried that team, right? They've had, of course, some other guys step up, like you said, Alvarez, and other guys obviously are playing well. Like even the defense is playing well. Goalkeepers stepped up. But listen, this is Messi's team, just like France's and Mbappe's team. For Messi and the weight of everything that's on his shoulders, and to do it on the biggest stage, I mean, he's the MVP. Win or lose, he's MVP of the tournament for me. I think goal is Richarlison. I thought Alvarez got a little fortunate on. You're talking about the slalom run.
Yeah, the slalom run, convenient hop, and all of that.
Yeah, I thought he got a little lucky. That last defender should have done better with the clearance, but obviously a good goal. But no, I think Richarlison's goals for me, goal of the tournament, and then game of the tournament. God, I don't know. There was a few good ones that went back and forth. Like Cameroon had one against Serbia. Maybe they had a few goals in there.
Yep.
The France-England game I thought was very good. It was only 2-1, but as far as entertainment, that was a really good game. I think it was a really enjoyable World Cup as far as like the last day of each group.
Yes,
it was just chaos. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking think back to the Costa Rica Germany game where it was like all of a sudden Costa Rica was in a spot they were going to advance out of that group. I think it was only for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But it was nuts. It was like, oh my God, they're going to advance in a group of Germany, Spain, and Japan. And obviously they end up giving up a few goals and bowing out. But there was just some crazy moments where it was like, holy smokes, who was going through? So that was really fun.
Costa Rica, Germany was 4-2. You mentioned the last day of the group stage. Ghana, South Korea, the 3-2. Cameroon, Serbia, the 3-3 madness there.
Yeah.
3-2 Portugal, Ghana. I mean, that's just the craziness that's attached to all of that. But all right. Let me ask a mentoring mentee question here. You mentioned Messi, and the question that I want to involve with mentors and mentees is about support and understanding your role in a given situation. Because with Argentina, we know that these are guys that want to win it for Messi, and they're playing with him. They understand that we need to defend a little more. We need to sit there and have things, strategically positioned where, all right, so when we want to turn the ignition on Messi, then he's good to go at 100%. I guess understanding your role for when you're talking to your mentees about understanding your role and your place, because not every game is different and not every person is different, especially when you've got a superstar up top that you kind of have to help out a little bit. Do you have those conversations about helping out?
Totally. I think understanding your role, no matter what you do in life, is so important. Right, what you bring to your team, your organization, and knowing its value and purpose, and that you're part of a bigger picture is so important. And so, absolutely. And I think back to even Atlanta United, right? Somebody like Jeff Larentowicz, right? Just the epitome of knowing your role, right? And he was willing to put in extra work for guys like Miggy and Tito and Joseph even, where it was like, okay, I know my role is to break up things defensively and get you guys the ball, mm-hmm. and, save your energy a little bit so that you can go score goals and do the fun things. And I'm going to do my role and cover extra ground and do extra dirty work and get no limelight for it. But we don't win a championship without that.
Correct.
So absolutely, I think understanding that, and you see that with Argentina for sure, right? There are guys that will run forever and ever and ever and through a brick wall so that, Messi can hang out a little bit on the defensive side. And then when he gets the ball, do his thing. And Messi still runs a lot. I think he carries the ball more than anybody else in the tournament so far. And so he he just uses his energy more on the offensive side of the ball. And, you know, in today's game, that's such a rarity because you usually rely on everybody. But, you know, when you have, there's only one Messi, you know, so those guys are willing to do it. But yeah, understanding your role is super, super important. And knowing that the better the team does, the better everyone individually will look, and will have a greater individual success as well.
And the other question has to do with patience, because I know a lot of folks are tied to the United States and they want the team to do well, and understanding it's like, okay, we're in our late teens, early 20s, and there's a larger picture at play here, because in 4 years, those players that are in their late teens, they'll be in their early 20s. The ones in their early 20s will be in their mid 20s. And just understanding that not everything happens immediately. And I guess that's the other thing. It's like, you know, today we want to have things done immediately. We want it to be done now. We want that instant result. In soccer, especially with a larger plan, it doesn't happen immediately. I guess you know, when is patience something that you talk about with your mentees as well, and understanding that it's a growth process too.
Yeah, and that's the word that we use. It's a process, right? It's that shelving the instant gratification model that we all just crave in life, and that's, you know, why social media is such a killer for us all.
Yeah,
but yeah, understanding that it's a process, and it's your journey and your pathway, and everyone develops at a different time, and everyone's pathway is different. And, you know, those that have early success are not guaranteed to have later success, and vice versa. So that's a tough one though, right? That's a very, very tough one for someone younger, especially if they're putting in a lot of work and maybe not seeing the results right away, of, you know, understanding that it's part of that process. And sometimes the gifts are a little delayed. And as long as you keep grinding and putting in the work and keeping the belief, you know, you can eventually overcome those hurdles. But also understanding that I think that sometimes we just want to focus on that individual accolades and individual performance and individual getting better, but not understanding, like, okay, if I do this, the team's going to do better. Okay. And if our team does better, okay, I'll get seen more, and and other people will appreciate me more, and it'll help me get better as a player. So, you know, I think more often the focus should be on, okay, how do I help my team win? How do I, you know, be a part of that team that's successful? And individually, you will be better and get better and have better results.
I know that I'm not going to catch back up with you until just before New Year's. So this is another question that popped into my head. When it comes to conditioning during the holidays, whether it's mental or physical or emotional or whatever, how difficult is it to maintain your goals and your drive during a holiday window? And what did you do? Did you give yourself cheat days? How do you maintain trying to stay at the top of your game, especially this time of year?
It's one of the things I don't miss, John, is for sure. When I'm home for the holidays and it's cold outside and I'm like, golly, I need to do a fitness workout today. And finding the time to go do that. You know, if you get it done in the morning or you wait till the evening, and those things. But I think flexibility is key, right? Knowing that, okay, I need to get a certain amount of workouts in this week. Ideally, like, we spread it out a little bit. But if I have to go back-to-back days because I know that these 2 days I'm not going to be able to work out, then that's cool, right? It's not stressing about it, but also not deviating so far from it that you're not thinking about it and that you're not putting in the work, because other people are. And so, you know, I always tried to get my workouts done first thing in the morning, right? Even if I had to wake up early, 5:30 or something, and get it done early. That way I can enjoy the rest of the day and not have to think about it, because the worst thing for me was to go through an entire day. Okay, then the kids get to sleep, and then it's like 8 or 9 o'clock, and then I'm like, okay, now I got to go work out. Oof, that was rough. So I always tried to get it done in the mornings so that I can enjoy myself. And I think always once you get the workout done, you feel good about it, and you feel good, like, okay, I'm glad I did it. And so the hardest part is just getting out there and doing it. So setting that time every now and then to go do it is good. And that's where, you need to lean on maybe some other people to help push you a little bit, right? You're not around always people, oh, you don't have to do it. Oh, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Where no, like, you don't have to do it every day. But you have to put in work sometimes when you don't want to.
5:30 in the morning?
Yeah. Well, my kids have always been early risers. So if they're waking up at 6:30, 7, I want to be able to have it done and be back by the time they were awake. So,
Man, I just you see, I'm not a morning person to begin with anyway, so that's my problem. And for me, traditionally, being 712 years old, I'm doing stuff like late in the afternoon. It's like as late in the day when the sun is at the highest, and this time of year specifically when I got to get my 4 miles in on a Sunday, I'm going late afternoon, brother. I'm not getting up at the crack of what to get out there early in the morning. I've never been a morning person, but I wanted to ask about just that off-season motivation and the holiday motivation, because I know that we all still want to be the best and do what we want to do, but you're sitting there and you're just swamped with everything. You're trying to buy presents, you're pinned in, and I wanted to try to push through that to see how it is for you, and if you have conversations with mentees about off-season stuff, and this is that off-season window that's a little different than all the other off-season windows.
No, it totally is. And absolutely, we do. And some of it depends on what do you have coming up, right? If there were times when I had January camp with the national team starting like January 5th or something like that. And it was like, okay, I'm not missing a day of a workout, right? I have to be prepared for this, right? So, those off seasons were a little bit different than, okay, I've got until, late January. Okay. If I miss one workout this week, I can pin it on to next week and get my work in there and have a little flexibility. So it kind of depends on what you have going on, but those off seasons are where some people, start to spread themselves out from others. And, that's where the dedicated people really show through. And again, like I always say, with the fine balances, I'm not saying you need to work out 4 hours a day every day during winter break, right? But doing what you need to do in order to have slight improvements across the board.
Okay. I'm going to do two things at once here. I'm going to plug in the battery in my computer because apparently it decided to sit there and unlatch itself. And so it's like your battery's running low on your computer and you need to plug it in. What was the best, and like I said, this is going off the rails this morning because this is the last time I'm going to catch up with you before Christmas. What was the best soccer gift you ever got growing up?
Best soccer gift. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a tough one.
A franchise in Rhode Island, John. That's
oh man. Trying to think. I remember God, this was obviously a long time ago, but I got one of those like things where you could attach the strap to your wrist, and then I had the string, and then the ball would go into a little net, and you could kick the ball, and it's attached to your wrist, so it's not going anywhere, but you could work on your striking ability and kind of just juggling. You didn't have to worry about the ball going all over the place. I remember I used that a lot. Yeah, little things. So I do remember that gift. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Well, because I mean, did you get like posters on your wall? Did you get videotapes of dudes? Like the DVD?
I had one poster in my. I didn't have a ton of posters in my room growing up. I had one on my closet door that I looked at all the time, and it was Roberto Baggio. I don't know why. I don't, not sure why it was Roberto Baggio.
It was the hair, right? You wanted the flow.
Must have been the hair. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't even like a huge Italy fan or anything. But he was one of the best in the world at the time. So, yeah, I had a poster there, and the ball was in the poster, and I always wondered, I wonder if the ball was coming to him or going away from him. It was something I would lay in my bed, and to this day I remember thinking, God, I wonder where that ball is going. But yeah, that was my only poster I had.
It's all about analytics. It's all about analytics and trying to figure out. And I think it's like, okay, is he being offensively minded, or is he being defensively minded? And it's always
probably offensive.
Yeah, just a bit. Let me get back to the tournament before we go, because I know that you got to go at the top of the hour. So are you going to say that Argentina gets the fairy tale?
Yes.
Okay. Then give me the third place game. Croatia, and we mentioned dudes of a certain age. 37 years old Luka Modric, who I firmly believe is just cryogenically frozen after every match, so he's really only like 28. To see someone continue to contribute at the age of 37 the way that he does, tremendous, but it's a great story with Morocco as well. What do you see in that one?
Yeah, that's crazy. God, the third place game is so tough. You're coming off such a devastating loss, and then to turn around for a game that honestly doesn't mean too much is so tough. Those guys are exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
The Morocco guys have had to work so hard to get to where they were. I mean, Croatia went to back-to-back over extra time games, right? So, I mean, these guys are exhausted. I feel this game could go either way. Hopefully it's an entertaining game. I think it will be. So I'm rooting for Morocco. I know Croatia had an unbelievable run. Major credit to what they're able to do. And yeah, Modric he's not human. It's crazy.
No.
And he's so good, so talented. I'll root for Morocco to end their fairy tale run with a W.
And what's it like having a goalkeeper that is really just standing on his head? We've seen it with Livakovic. We've seen it with Dibu Martinez, who, by the way, is one of the best smack talkers around. I mean, that's the kind of guy that you want between the sticks. And we've seen it with Bono, too, with Morocco. What's it like having a hot keeper in a tournament like this?
There's nothing better. Honestly, there's nothing better than knowing you've got a goalkeeper back there who can save anything and everything. It just gives you more freedom and more sense of confidence to just go out there and do your thing, knowing like, okay, if I make a mistake, he's got me. Or okay, if they get a break, they get a shot off, he's got it. It's unbelievable what it can do to the psyche of the group. Knowing that you've got an absolute baller back there and somebody that's just on the top of their game. It's crazy. I remember reading not too long ago an analytics thing. And Philadelphia Union was talking about how like their analytics department said that the goalkeeper was one of the most important positions on the field that they wanted to target. And obviously that's why who they have. But it's a great feeling. So yeah, I'm hoping Martinez, hopefully he doesn't have to, but he probably will have to have a very good game to keep France off. Because yeah, I want Messi to win. I hope he wins.
All right. So for the record, for those who are watching on the Twitch pitch, the entire segment, when one of our listeners found the link to the website to buy the gear, it has been a public service. It has been below us the entire time.
I mean, MVP right there.
Shop.rhodeislandfc.com. And that's where you can get things like this for those watching on Twitch. You can get the scarf, you can get the t-shirt, you can get the gear. Cap, always, it's great to catch up with you, and happy holidays to everybody with you and yours as you continue to grow. Scarves are sold out for RIFC. Dude, you got to get on this.
Believe me, we've already had internal discussions saying what is going on. So follow us on Twitter. We're gonna have to do some giveaways.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
So congratulations on the launch, and have
Thank you.
a great holiday season, and we'll continue to watch as it continues to grow. Beyond Goals Mentoring at BG Mentoring on the Twitters at MF Parkhurst. Dude, it's great to catch up with you. Good to see you. Have a great holiday. We'll catch up with you on the other side.
Likewise, John. Thanks for having me. Happy holidays. Enjoy the game.
You got it. Michael Parkhurst. He's going to go drink water.